Hello everyone, this is Swan with BlackBoxStocks, and we are so excited to release version 2.0 of our web-based platform to everyone. This is going to be a brief overview of the new features, how to find them, and how to use them. So bear with me as we go through this. You'll be very excited as we see what we've been able to add for you all. Let's get started first off by when you first log in. This is the main landing page, and just a couple things to note. Before, there would be a drop-down menu here under the NASD NYSE box that would let you sort the alert log by dollar amounts. Let's say you wanted to see everything less than $5, you could do that. That drop-down box doesn't happen any longer because we added it to the alerts button. So now when you go to the alerts button under the alert log, you can see there is a slide bar here that lets you sort by price, or you can just type it in. And then that will sort this list by price. The other thing that I want to focus on is charting. That's the main change that we've made. The biggest improvement that we've made was on the charting side of the system. So let's talk about that just for a moment. First thing we want to do is expand the chart, because by expanding the chart, this allows us to add multi-charts. So you can now look at multiple charts all at the same time. In order to do that, you expand it, then we're going to come up here to grid, and you can see there are 12 pre-designed layouts, or you can choose your own if you'd like. Very similar to other charting platforms that are out there. Let's just choose this one here. It's predefined. It will add the other two charts in, whatever you had here on your initial chart. Very much again like other trading charting platforms, you can see that there is a green box around each chart. When I click on it, that means that is the active chart. Okay, so if I want to make changes to this chart, if I want to add studies, this is the chart that's the studies are going to be applied to. So let's do that, because we made some changes on the studies as well. Now when you click on studies, you have the study library that comes up. And one of the two of the best features I think now is you can click on favorites. So you can highlight them, or basically click on the little star. And as you click on the star, it's going to move those to the top for you. We also added the go, no-go trend. This is not a BlackBoxStocks proprietary study. This is one that's out there. Very, very interesting. We've been watching this one. So I'm going to select that one. You can go through and select which other ones you want. Now, when you come in, you can see they're all at the top, starred as your favorites, or you can click on the favorites section and it pulls them up as well. If you have questions about the studies, you can click on the little I information button and it tells you about that study. For example, on go, no go, what do the color of the bars mean? Things like that. Once you get these studies set the way you want them, let's just add some to our chart. We're going to add the go, no go, and we'll add the orb 15. So you can now see that in here. Then I can go to view and hit save view, and I can call this whatever I want. We'll call it go, no go, and orb. Hit save. Now when I go to views, you can see I had a previously saved view, and I also have this one as well. So now when I come to this chart down here, I don't have to do all of those steps. I can just click on the one that I want and add it to the chart. If I want to change the time frame, I can do that as well. Go to 7 minute, see what it looks like. This chart, I'm going to do the same view, actually a different view, and I'm going to add that one in. So I've got the cues on the 1 minute, the cues on the 7 minute, and I can add the cues here on the 3 minute, and now I can watch these as they go through. The other nice feature is under plots. If you click on this, you can toggle one of them off. You can toggle studies on and off as well. So if you just want to see a clean chart, you can just do this, and then it's back to where it was, and then to add them back in, just turn them back on, and you're good to go. If you want to see this chart in full screen, just hit this expand button, and it takes it up to the full screen. Hit the minimize, and it takes it back to where it was on the screen. So a bunch of new features here. Also under events, there is a new option called Signal IQ. Signal IQ is very interesting. What it does is it lets you take different studies and lets you create signals on the chart that will give you a little pop-up icon on the chart that tells you when something happens. So a lot of information on this. I'll do a separate video just strictly about Signal IQ, but this is something that you can play around with as well, and you'll see it on the chart. It'll give you little tags, kind of similar to this no-go or the go, except it's a little, you can change whatever icon you want to show when a certain parameter happens on a different indicator or study. If you want to move a chart around, you can do that as well. You're going to click on the little 3 dots at the bottom of each chart. Each chart has one of those. Let's say I want to move this chart over here. I can just click on this and say move left. It swaps places. If I do the same thing, it'll swap places with the top one. So you can move charts around very easily. If I want to add another chart, I can do that. I can just hit add to the right. So I'm going to put a new one to the right, which will bump this one to the top, and then I'll have 4 charts. Add to the right. That one goes to the top. Now I've got this new one here that I can then change to whatever I want as well. Or I can just remove it all together, and it brings this back to that standard layout that I have selected here. Now the next question is, a lot of people wonder, hey, I like to see multi-charts, but I also want to see option flow at the same time. Can I do that? Yes, you can. All you got to do is click on options. You click on options, and option flow then is replaced with chat over here, and you can now watch option flow as it comes in. Beautiful enhancement to the program. Now, there is a new box here that you'll see that has 9 boxes inside the box. This adjusts the way the charts and the option flow all set in these different modules. For example, if I click compact, what this does is it takes option flow and turns it into the mobile version of the option flow, which gives your charts more room. This is the absolute largest way you can view charts, is when your options flow is in compact mode. Full is what we're used to on the lines. Okay, this is the normal size lines that we normally have on option flow. And then if you click side by side, the charts get smaller. However, now I have option flow down the middle as normal, and to the right I have charts, or excuse me, I have chat, or I can look at alert log, whatever the case may be. You have all of these scanners down here, and then you have the option flow panel down here as well. This is probably more what you're used to seeing, and then adding the multi-charts here just replaces that bullish flow, bearish flow graph that we usually have in this mode. If I want to get rid of that, or if I want to see it again, I can just hit the minimize button. It's going to take all the charts back into this little tiny spot, and then the bearish flow, bullish flow comes back up. Make it go away. It's going to go away just by hitting that expand. Now, as you can see here on the flow, if I click on, let me click here. A lot of people wonder what this lock is right here. You notice I can turn it on or turn it off. What that does is it lets you, if it's turned off, anytime I click on a chart, watch this panel over here. If I click on Qs, see how it sorts to the Qs. If I click on Tesla, this graph scanner is going to sort to Tesla. If I lock, however, that won't happen anymore. See, I can click around and the site does not sort according to my chart. So that's kind of a nice thing to have, because what we found during testing was as I was clicking on different charts, my flow and my scanners were always filtering, and I didn't want that. So that's how you can get away from that happening, is just click on that lock feature, and then your charts are locked from sorting. Now what it will continue to do, however, is if you click on a ticker that's in flow, then you'll get that sort where you get Apple here, and your chart switches to Apple as well. Okay. One other enhancement we made was to the watch list feature. So let's look at watch list. I'm going to click on all here to bring option flow back to normal. I'm going to click on watch list. As you have your watch list pulled up, you've got 3 columns now that have boxes that you can check. The first box, if you hovered over it, says only. So if I only check these boxes, then anything that is checked, that is the only flow that I'm going to see. So if I go now back to flow, I should only see Apple and AMD flow. Let me click this here. Once I set my filter to only, right there, see that? So you have to set your filter to only, hit apply. Now I'm only going to see Apple and AMD. Why? Because on my watch list, those are the only 2 that are checked. And you can see because I have it filtered on, this box is highlighted in green. Now if I uncheck these boxes and hit omit, now when I go back to my flow and go to filter, I can go to omit. Now I will not see any Apple or AMD flow because I now have it omitted. So that used to be all in the watch list, where you would check it and you would actually highlight here or here, and it would turn this whole column green. But now you check the tickers you want, and then you turn that filter on and off in the option flow filter. All right. So let me uncheck this, because I also want to show you under watch list this 3rd column, which is highlight. Highlight is awesome because it lets you see flow. It grabs your attention on certain flow, but you don't have to keep your eye on it the entire time. For example, let me just click a couple of these and you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll click on a couple of them here. Now I'll go back to flow. Now you can see what happens because I have NVIDIA, Meta, and I don't remember the other one highlighted. Anytime flow comes in those tickers, I will get a highlight. It was Google. I will get a highlight around it. So if you're busy and you can't just sit there and watch flow nonstop all day long, that's a great little tool to be able to see the flow that comes in, grabs your attention real easily. And lastly, I want to show one small thing, a new setting that you have. If you notice, the flow has this striping where you see this grayish color, then darker, gray, dark, gray, dark, gray, dark. Some users have said they like it. Some other users have said they would rather it did not be there. You do have now the option to turn that on or off. And to find that, you're going to come up here to your personal profile and just go to settings. And under settings, it's right here, disable striping on grids. And you see this, you can see the striping is in this currently. And if as soon as I check that, you can see it takes it away, and now it's just one solid color. So you can definitely do that if you'd like. Again, that's found under settings, and you can either turn that on or turn that off. TradeStation, E-Trade all work perfectly with the trading click, click, boom. So you can still utilize those, and then make sure you have that enable rapid decline checked as well. All right, that is it for now. Again, get on the system, play around with it as much as you can, ask questions. If you need help, you can always get a hold of me. My email is swan@blackboxstocks.com. And you guys, I am here for you to help you out. So enjoy the great day and stay green.